The Pittsburgh Steelers. They're gonna steal your lures.
Don't know who the heck that was, but he gave me a little rev. I mean, he probably recognized me. He probably said, hey, that's that one guy from YouTube. He's super popular. I gotta rev at him. Anyway, I just thought I would like to announce that I'm quitting YouTube. Alright, see you later. Okay, bye. Nah, I'm just playing. The real announcement is, with a whopping 31 subscribers, I am going full-time YouTube. That's right, I am dropping out of school and going full-time YouTube because I make so much money off all these views and, yeah. Howdy, May. Anyway, I am on my way right now. Well, okay. I should say my bike used to be in a storage locker up until about a week or two ago. I think 2 weeks ago, until I moved my bike closer to school. Actually, I moved my bike on campus, on school, cheaper. But anyway, I'm going back to my unit right now because I got some tools and whatnot there. And I'm gonna cancel it, but actually I'm on my way to put my other rear foot peg back on because I only have one on right now, and I'll get to that right now. So let me tell you this whole story. This is about my paint job I attempted to do on this motorcycle, and I hope the wind isn't too bad. I put the little thing that goes right underneath your chin back on. I found it, so I'm hoping that it helps a little bit with the wind noise, but I do apologize with the wind and my little foam thing that goes on my mic that fell off, but I put the little whatever the material it's made of under back on my underneath my helmet, so hopefully that helps a little bit. But anyway, I'm gonna kind of go over this paint job I tried to do on this bike. It didn't quite work out so well. Let's start with that. It didn't quite go as planned, and I'll get to the whole story. So, I think it was back in June of this year, summertime. I was kind of just sitting at home, like, okay, what do I want to do this summer? Like, you know, besides, because during the summer I worked all day, pretty much full time, and I had the weekends off, so I'm like, okay, what do I want to do in my downtime? What can I do? So I'm like, well, I'm kind of thinking, like, hey, it'd be kind of cool to paint my bike. And so I kind of started thinking about it, like, yeah, this would be kind of cool. Like, my goal was to do like an all black kind of bike, and you know, I had that perfect, you know, vision of what it would look like in my head. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this, you know. Never painted anything vehicle related, so you can imagine this was gonna go well. So I said, okay, finally, I'm like, okay, let's go get the stuff needed for this project. And I go to the store, Lowe's, to get the paint. Because I'm like, you know, well, where else am I going to get paint for an automobile project? I don't know. So I'm like, I'll just go to Lowe's, and I'm pretty sure they're going to have some sort of, like, spray paint that's meant for automobiles. Why are we all slowing? Oh no. So, like, I saw Do It With Dan's, like, videos of him, I think, painting, like, the tank of his Magna. And some kind of engine enamel paint. And I watched it, I'm like, I thought it looks pretty good for like a spray paint thing. And so I'm like, well, I'm gonna do that. So I go to Lowe's and I buy all the paint. I can't remember how many cans I spend it in the long run. I spend a ton of money on paint. Can I tell you why? So I go to Lowe's, I buy all this paint. I buy this engine enamel paint, and are you kidding me right now? So I buy this paint, come home, so I got like the primer, and I got the paint. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna, clean this off. Because like I started with the upper fairings first. So I'm like, I'm gonna wash it off, put the primer on, let it sit, because the directions said let it sit for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. And maybe we should get our lane splitting action on. A little hooligan status. Anyway, back to the story while we sit in traffic, and maybe we'll get our lane split action on. That's kind of odd. It's like 1 o'clock and it's just jammed. Anyway, let's get all this paint, clean it. I put the primer on, and I put one coat of the black on. And it said like wait an hour before doing another coat, and so I'm like, okay. So I waited about, I don't know, for 50 minutes, 50, 60, maybe a little bit under an hour, 50 at least. Put another coat on, and that same day I was going up to the lake with a couple of buddies, so I left it sit there for the entire weekend. And when I got back, it was all cracked. The paint was cracked, and I'm like, what the heck? I did what the instructions said. I pretty much waited an hour, 50 minutes, give or take, I guess. 50, 60 minutes, give or take. And I'm just kind of like, I'm frustrated at this point. So I'm like, okay, we'll come back to this. Let's do the other fairing. So I did the other fairing exactly how I did the other fairing I painted, and same thing happened. It cracked. So I was like, oh, come on, you gotta be serious. I gotta get out of here. This lane, I think. Oh my god. So at this point I'm like frustrated. Like two of these fairings are cracked. And I'm trying to speed this story up because I could sit here and talk about it for like an hour. So then I went to the tail. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come back because I'm gonna paint the tail. So I painted both the tail and this bike are two separate pieces. There's an under piece to the tail, and then there's the tail itself. So I did the under part of the tail, and that actually turned out pretty good. And then I started doing the actual tail piece. And that went okay. There was like a little section of the tail that... Is this lane going to 7th? I hope not. I need to get out of here. Alright, we're gonna probably have to split here to get out of here. I need to get out of this lane. What was I saying? Oh, so there's like this little tiny portion of the tail that was cracking, and on this point I'm like frustrated like a lot. Like I hit the roof, dude. I was so pissed, and I could not figure out why. And by at this point in time, I've gone through like a lot of paint, and I'm just frustrated. Like, how is this possible? What is going on? So I look at the back of the paint can, and I'm like, well, let me just see what kind of like paint this is for, because I'm using this on plastic. And oh my god, we are moving slower than molasses! In favor of me lane splitting, thy raise thy hands. But I can't see because there's big trucks. So at this point in time, I was like frustrated. I'm like, okay. So I look back at the can, and I'm like, I just want to make sure that I'm using this on the right surface. Hear that exhaust? It sounds real clean. So I'm reading the back, and it says it's meant for metal, and I've been using it on plastic, and so I'm like, there's my problem. The tailpiece was probably the worst because I actually ended up trying to get all the paint off, and then actually, I don't know, it was just the whole thing was just a disaster. So I ended up plasti dipping all the three, except for the under part of the tail, but 3 pieces I ended up plasti dipping because I was like, well, this looks a little bit better. So that's why my paint job on this bike is so terrible, because like, I don't know what I was doing. Straight up, dived right into it, I guess, without researching or reading or looking up how to do it. So that was my fault. My fault. Yeah, so anyway, which leads me back to I was gonna do the whole thing, but I'm like, you know what? I'm actually not gonna lie. Like, if you look past all like the imperfections I did on this paint job, it actually doesn't look too bad. It actually looks kind of cool. The black and blue. My buddy of mine spray painted the frame black because I hate the silver frames. Look so ugly. Ugly. Whoa, Valentino Rossi status. Here we go. But yeah, I guess it's kind of it for today's video. Hopefully it isn't too long. I don't like to keep them, I don't like to do like, you know, super long vlogs, unless it's something good. But yeah, that's kind of it for today. So my little story. Yeah. So I guess I'll catch you guys next week. I don't know what's going on next week for a video, but hopefully I'll get something good next week for you guys. Alright, have a good rest of the week and a good weekend. Stay safe out there. Take it easy.